Much for tuning into this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I am quite excited and honored to have some lovely ladies here today on the Kim Jacobs Show that's going to talk to us about some affirmations that we can use. Now, whether you're a male or female, guess what? You're going to learn something from the prophetista and from Dr. Josephine Harris and from some other women that are going to be joining us throughout today's broadcast, just to drop some nuggets on how you can use some affirmations that could really get you through this holiday season. So welcome, ladies. How are you all today?
Good.
Good. I am so excited. Listen, everybody, I'm so excited. I really want us to take 30 seconds to just tag about 10 people. Sometimes when you're first coming on a show and it's all like, hello, blah, 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 and you don't get a chance to say, oh man, I meant to invite this person into today's discussion. Take 30 seconds right now and invite some of your friends, family, co-workers, enemies, frenemies, anybody that you know would benefit from hearing some positive affirmations today. So let's do that now. Seconds in the world. I don't know about y'all, but I was like, come on, I got to get my 10 in. I was trying my best, right? And then I was like, come on, how is this possible that this time went that fast? All right. And you can't imagine how quick an hour goes, believe it or not, too, on the show. But listen, hopefully you guys have had a chance, and definitely go ahead and let us know where you're visiting in from as well. We'll pull you in and share your comments. Hey, I see you, Justine Hilliard tagging Carrie Ann. Thank you so much. And tag Athena Robertson too. She would love to be a part of today's discussion. All right, everyone. I see you, Travis Michelle. Yes. Travis Michelle has a show called Late Night with Travis Michelle. If y'all haven't checked out her show, you definitely want to do so. She says it's time to take off the lashes, take off the mask, take off everything, and get yourself ready for Late Night with Travis Michelle. It's 10 p.m. on Wednesday nights. She debuted July 28th, 2021, and she graduated from a program that I actually do, which is teaching people how to start their own show from scratch. So if you have not started a talk show and you know you have a story to share, a gift to share with the world, and you want to provide it to your tribe, to your platform of people that support you, then definitely go to kimjacobsconsulting.com and take advantage of this opportunity to have your own show on your platform. And I'll be happy to walk you through that process. All right, everybody. So I see the visionary herself backstage, and I want to see if I can go ahead and bring her in to give her a chance. Is it okay to pull you in, Miss Tiffany Bell? All right, let me pull you in right quick. I see you. How are you, Tiffany?
Good morning, everyone.
Doing good. Listen, we're so happy to have you here with us today. And today we're talking about affirmations that you can use, especially if you're women. You know, you want to be able to have some positive things that you can pull on to and say, I believe in myself. I believe that God's got me. I believe I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I believe that he made me in his own image. I believe. It's a lot of things that we need to believe in order to make it through some of the trials and tribulations that we go through on this journey called life. So Tiffany, talk to us about your vision here.
All righty. So several years ago, almost 21, 22 years ago when I got married, I realized that I needed a safe space. I needed somewhere that I could write, that I could share my heart, wouldn't be free of judgment, and just, honestly, just be naked, just be out in the open and not worry about anybody's thoughts, opinions about my own thoughts and opinions. So I started journaling. And then, of course, in journaling, I found the sense of freedom. I began to gain, just gain clarity, and understand how I felt and why I felt, and be able to identify triggers. And through that journaling process, I also recognized some false beliefs, right? And so over the years, proper affirmations become more and more popular. But my first set of affirmations really came out of the book of scripture, saying it was the Bible. And so the combination of journaling, the combination of his truth, and then meditating on that each day really helped to transform the way that I thought. Which, of course, as your thoughts begin to change, then your actions and your attitudes are going to be affected as well. And so I wanted to create a journal for women that were seeking to make positive change in the year 2022. And so these ladies and about 34 other, I think there's 36 of us all together that have come together and have shared their favorite affirmation, their favorite scripture, their favorite business tip, all written in the form of a power statement to help propel women forward, into their purpose, into their mission, into their destiny. Ultimately, in my mind, creating positive legacy for their children and families.
I am so excited about everything. I can't wait to get the book because I'm forever living on affirmations. I'm talking to myself in the mirror. Does anybody else in the studio audience do that? Please let us know. Do you talk to yourself? I literally, sometimes I'm driving down the street, Tiffany, right? And I'm riding down the street and I'm like, oh yeah, but girl, you know what? You can ready to knock this out the box. You can ready to do your thing because God gifted you with this talent. So do not worry about, and I'm over there having a whole conversation and I look over and I realize that people are like, who is she talking to?
So I had something similar happen to me one day last week. I can't remember what I was doing, but it was around Thanksgiving, and I was talking to myself about doing something or not doing something, and I didn't really think about the fact that there are other people in the room, and whoever was beside me, they were like, "You do it too, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I talk to myself on a regular, but
It's more than appropriate. If you can't talk to yourself, how can you talk and encourage anybody else? If you're not able to inspire and encourage yourself, in the word it says, look, David encouraged himself. So if we can't encourage ourselves, then we can't pour into other people. And I know Mother Patricia Lofton with the Church of God in Christ, she often says this. She says, listen, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You have to pour from the overflow. So fill your cup, then you can give the excess to everybody else. But you got to be kind of full and whole and believe that God created you to be who your purpose to be on this earth. So I'm excited about this today. Let me tell you, Tiffany D. Bell is a multidimensional leader, influencer, and communal advocate. Having spent more than 2 decades providing the best in managerial, administrative, and servant leadership, she is often counted as one able to execute at high levels, regardless of the unforeseen circumstances. She's a nonprofit CEO of Gulfport, Mississippi, and she encourages women to make positive life choices. Now, I want to talk to you too about just what made you decide to become a nonprofit CEO specifically.
Well, really kind of happened out of a series of strategies. Several years ago, as I mentioned, I started journaling as a result of getting married. Like, getting married was the hardest thing that I've ever done in life. Now, I loved my husband. We had a good marriage, but, we started off quite rocky, to be honest with you. I was young, thought I knew everything. I really didn't. But eventually, he and I, we got our act together, started having children. We had my third son. His name was Bishop. Bishop was born early. He lived for about 30 days and he passed. And then 7 months later, my husband died. And so between those two, just major events happening, I needed to find something that I could do. One, so that I could focus on something other than myself. I'm mourning the loss of, 2 people. I needed to find something career-wise that was a good fit for my other 2 children. I still had Breon and Brandon at the time, and So getting in the nonprofit world was a big help to me because mainly, I found something that I could do that could help me process my grief. And it also helped me to not look at me. You know what I'm saying? I believe that as you give into other people, that essentially what you're sowing comes back to you. And so I started volunteering, honestly. And then from there, began working, became members of several different boards. And eventually took over a pregnancy center that was here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. They were about 30 days from closing down, and they had an ED in place. Didn't really work out well. That she wasn't a good fit for the organizational. Not she did a great job with structure, but personality-wise and community-wise, wasn't a good fit for her. So they asked me to see if I'd step in temporarily, and that went on to, I just recently left earlier this year after being with them for about 13 years. And so I've just thoroughly enjoyed being able to connect with people in regard to being able to coach them, being able to encourage them, being able to support them. But then on the business side of things, one of the things that I feel like God has gifted me is the ability to get buy-in. People naturally trust me. And so with that, I'm able to use that skill that God has given me to encourage people to join in on the mission of various nonprofits. On top of that, being a CEO, I understand the struggles that it takes to run a business. And so taking my for-profit experience, combining that with the nonprofit experience, I've had really good results. And so I enjoy helping to coach other nonprofits with the skills that they need, the tools that they need, the resources in order to make their nonprofit profitable and sustainable.
Wow. Okay. I only muted myself because I could hear some feedback. So I want to make sure that it's a clear communication when you're speaking. That is absolutely incredible. Are you ready for me to pull you into Crystal by chance? All right. I'm going to pull you into today's discussion as well. So you are able to really, Tiffany, pull people together, encourage them to use their gifts and their talents. Let me pull this young lady in as well. Here we go. There we are. So, Crystal, glad to have you as well joining us. How are you today?
I'm well.
Good. So glad to have you on today's broadcast as well. And that sounds perfect. So thank you. All right. So listen, as we're talking today, we're talking with women that are going to share these affirmations with you, and they are going to change your life. I believe that it's something that you can take notes on and journal and apply to your life. Anybody, answer the question, what is journaling to you, as we get ready to continue to deep dive into our discussion? And how do people even do it? Because sometimes people say journal. Not everyone even knows what journaling is and what that looks like. So anybody, let's go with you, the Prophetista, Dr. Joes, any of you all, just unmute yourself and feel free to chime in.
Journaling for me is like an upper scale diary, if you will. It's where I can pour all my thoughts, my private thoughts, and know that they're just there for me. So you can go deeper and not worry about it being outed or, viewed by anyone else. And it really just allows you to kind of tap into those deep thoughts and those dreams that you have and that you had back in the day that you forgot about. And it just really helps me to just pour out. Okay.
I love it. And that's interesting that you say that because, I have lots of journals, a whole slew of journals, right? And if I make a mistake and leave one of my journals out, I'll be like, what in the world? Especially if you don't have a key on the journal. Back in the day when you had a diary, when you were a little kid, your mom bought you the one with the little lock key, but then you lose the key, you lost your whole everything. Because it's like, where is the key? It's my whole life is in that diary. Right. But now some of the journals, you don't really have keys, right? So they're just like these nice, beautiful words and scriptures on the front. But I'm like, anybody can get at my stuff, Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have that challenge? Unmute yourselves if you're talking. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Yeah, I was going to say definitely me. I had a just recently, about 2 weeks ago, one of my journals. I normally keep them in a box, but my grandson somehow or another got into the closet and pulled it out, and I was like, "Hey, that's my private. Those my private thoughts." This is not for you to play with.
You're like, boy, now this is the only time grandma might have to spank you now because you're going to put your time out or something. But I mean, I'm sure you're not. But the point is, you're like, don't touch grandma's journals, you know? That's like cutting somebody. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let's see. Anybody else that's sharing comments in the studio audience? Thanks for sharing. Amelia says, she said, thank you so much for sharing your story. Tiffany, first of all, what you've been through is traumatizing, obviously, and life-altering. You've had your child pass away. You've had your husband pass away. And then you're still just moving forward. And how can you even do something like that for people that are watching and viewing today? How can you move forward without, sometimes I hate talking about this because I know how to move forward because I've been through some things myself, but it's forced moving forward. I already know the answer, but I want you to share an answer for the viewers. How do you move forward in spite of what you're dealing with?
Well, one, it's a choice. Make the decision.
What is it?
It's a choice.
Yeah.
First thing for me, it's a choice. It's a decision that I am not going to remain in the pit. Everybody in life, at some point or another, you land in the pit, right? And that pit might be, for some of us, that pit could be the death of a husband. It could be a divorce. You know, it could be a financial issue. It could be a health issue that you face. No matter what, sometimes you're in that pit because of life. You know, you're walking, you know, you accidentally fall in. You didn't see it coming. You know, that is the cancer. You didn't ask for it. You know, my husband's death, I didn't ask for it. I just fell into that pit. Other times you're walking and you're in that pit, but you land in that pit mainly because, because of the choice of someone else. So that's the infidelity of the husband, you know, and you're in that pit and you're dealing with the divorce. And then there are other times when you're in that pit and, you know, you're the one who's made the decision, you know, the bad decision, the bad investment, you know, whatever poor choice that was, you've grabbed the shovel yourself and you've dug yourself into that pit. But no matter what, I believe that it is our responsibility as Christians, one, to either get in the pit and help pull people out or grab hold of God's hand yourself and come out of the pit. But no matter what, I think, you know, first it's the decision that you want to come out of the pit. Two, is you deciding, you know, that you're going to be open to hear, you know, and heed advice. But then I think three, it's people, you know, I didn't move forward on my own completely. God just put people in place who walked alongside of me. You know, they reached down into the pit and pulled me out, right? And so, but I was willing to reach up and take their hand. So I think it's a combination of a series of things. It's people, you know, and it's Lord and it's you. And I think the three of us together, you know, we become a team and we're able to move forward. And that's how you're able to make positive movement in life in general. So
good. Very perfectly said. Listen, you can't get a better answer than that. When we come back after this commercial break, we're going to hear from the prophetista, Nicole Freeman Kirkland, right after this commercial break. And you're going to be able to write down a lot of affirmations that you can use throughout today's broadcast. So stay tuned, everybody. We'll be right back.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and we are talking right now with Nicole Freeman Kirkland. Nicole Freeman Kirkland is a certified public accountant. She has worked in the accounting and tax profession for over 23 years. She currently operates a CPA practice by the numbers, and it's got the numbers. CPA LLC in Detroit, Michigan. And her business coaching is the Prophetista LLC in Atlanta, Georgia. And she has many other hats that she wears as well, but her passion and her purpose is to work with business owners to make their businesses profitable. That's large or small, it doesn't matter, to make your business profitable. Well, welcome the Prophetista herself, Nicole Freeman Kirkland. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you, Kim. Thanks, team that's here. Excited to be
We're
here.
so glad to have you. So we want to hear from you. First of all, what makes you so passionate about small businesses, large businesses, and helping them become profitable? Talk to us about that first.
Yeah, my love for that is twofold. So I've always been involved in accounting. Like I was in high school doing my classmates' taxes, messing them up, but I was an accountant at that point. So I've always known that accounting is what I wanted to do. But working in that industry, you're working with the big people, the big businesses, you know what I mean? And you're not working with the mom and pop or the people that are coming up. So for me, that was where I wanted to go. I wanted to help them build their businesses, make it profitable so that they can help their families, their communities, you know, that whole trickle down effect. So that's how kind of I got into starting my own practice from that experience in the larger
Good.
CPA.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's been a blessing. I've helped and worked with a lot of companies, so that passion just continues. But I would say just life lessons, just like kind of Tiffany talked about. You know, everyone has a story, and my
Yes.
story really was just hitting rock bottom. And when you think about hitting rock bottom, it's not someplace you want to be, but once you're there, you realize there's a blessing in it, right?
Interesting.
So building up from rock bottom kind of helped me put this program and these affirmations in place.
I wanted to find out, what did rock bottom look like for you? Because when we say people, before you answer anything, a lot of people, we say we've hit rock bottom. We came from the bottom,
Mhm.
and different things of that nature. But I
Right.
wanted to find out from your perspective, and I'm going to let some of the Instagram viewers hear too. Give it a
Mhm.
second. Because I don't get a chance. If you see me using my phone, that's because I
Okay.
don't always get a chance for the Instagram people to hear. But here on Instagram as well, and across 8 other platforms, we're on iHeartRadio, on YouTube, we're on Twitter, LinkedIn Live. We're on a lot of different platforms. So make sure you subscribe to the Kim Jacobs Show. But right now, we're talking with Nicole Kirkland, the prophetista, and she's talking to us about how to make businesses profitable. That's big or small businesses. So what I wanted to hear from you is, you say you were birthed, your vision was birthed out of the fact that you hit rock bottom. What did rock
Mhm.
bottom look like for you?
Rock bottom for me was being in my second marriage that was failing, and it was an abusive situation. And I was in a position where I had my practice. I was, in the same field, and I knew what to do to make money for myself, but I wasn't. I was stuck in this portal of dealing with this marital situation. And I had a young child as well. So rock bottom for me was like having nothing, deciding to leave a situation and just step out on faith that I would be able to provide for myself and my daughter, and build up from there. So rock bottom to me is just starting from nothing and stepping out to rebuild and being determined, like Tiffany said, making that decision that you're going to bounce back. That
Wow.
makes sense. Yeah.
That's a good conscious decision, and it's one that you're thinking about not only you but your child at the time as well, and
Exactly.
trying to make sure that you look out for your child's best interest in saying that, hey, our future can't end like this. This can't go down like this. So
Exactly.
from an affirmations you can use kind of perspective, share some of the affirmations that you have found very useful in your life.
Yep. So the biggest one for me is, you have some phenomenal women out here doing phenomenal things, right? We hear about each other every day. But what stops us is, for me, I always felt overwhelmed. Every day I would wake up thinking, what do I have to do today? What's going on today? And I always felt overwhelmed. Got the job done, but I always felt overwhelmed in everything I did.
Yes.
So my affirmation is, I'm organized, I set clear boundaries and intentions, and I stay prepared in my personal and business matters. Therefore, I am not overwhelmed. Because what it all,
I love it.
yeah,
Say
what
that
it
one
all,
more time. You got to say that
okay.
again.
I am organized, I set clear boundaries and intentions, and I stay prepared in my personal and business matters. Therefore, I am not overwhelmed.
Yes. You know how they go
Mhm.
like, that's everything. I don't know
Yeah,
who started that finger snapping thing, but coming from the projects, I could pick up any old kind of. It's like, oh, I like that one right there. So I'm
that's
like,
good. That's good.
that right there is some good stuff, real
Right.
good.
Mhm.
You got to speak that thing into existence. So you're saying you're organized, and you're going to make sure that you accomplish your task that day because you should,
Right.
because you are organized. So you go back to
Right.
the root of what you said about yourself, speaking those things over our lives that we believe to be true. Correct?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
as a
part of
man
it.
thinketh, so is he. And so we have to know that how we think in our minds and what we say about ourselves, that life and death is in the power of our own tongue. So speak life over your own situations. I live by affirmations. That's my
Yeah.
whole lot in life for the most part. So I'm so happy. Any other ones you want to share, Prophetista?
The second one I have is just my money mindset is that I respect money, therefore I attract it.
Bring that. Okay, I'm gonna be pumping, but my fingers gonna be numb. Like bring that
Yeah.
on. Yes.
Yeah.
You attract money. You attract. Oh, so y'all know, everybody know about Apostle Thomas, is that his name? Apostle Thomas. He said, money cometh when? Now.
Now.
He said, bring that money right now. And you can call and speak that thing into your life. And why not be able to attract money? Because God does not want us to be broke. If we say that we can have these things and he gives us the steps to be able to take it. Now, don't get me wrong. We have sometimes setbacks in life and things that happen that are beyond our circumstances. Does not mean that you're not going to be restored back and even better than you were before, but you might have to go through the valley moments to be able to get to the mountaintop of where God has for your life. And many times we're having tests and trials and tribulations, and we have to pass those tests in order to get to the next piece of our journey. So absolutely. Money is your attraction over there. I'm believing it. I'm believing it. What is the biggest advice that you have for businesses, whether they're small or large, for them to have an ability to become profitable? Any one tip before we go on?
Definitely. Not a plug to my business, but it's always knowing your numbers. Business owners, they're focused on what they went into business for, what their specialty, what their skill set is. And oftentimes the accounting part of it, understanding, how their financials are looking in the story it's telling about their business is essential to know. So it's very important that you get a handle on that part, as well as what you do in your business to be successful.
That's good. Good, y'all. I'm going to be putting all of the contact information up for each of our speakers here at the end of the day's broadcast. So you'll be able to see that, and it'll be in each of your comment sections as well. We're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk to Dr. Josephine Harris.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, and we are back with Dr. Josephine Harris. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this thing because I can't do all of this. I'm doing the most. You know how you do the most? It's like, I can't do all of this over here. I have a little stand and everything. I got everything you can think of when it comes to gadgets and stuff. But it's like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to worry about all of this drama because it's too much. All right, so what we're gonna do is let me go to Dr. Josephine Harris. Dr. Josephine is a modern day superhero, are not the ones that we familiarize in motion pictures, but rather, I called you a motion. I already called you a modern day superhero, but modern day superheroes are not the ones that we familiarize with in motion pictures, but rather the quintessential professionals, gifted with a sharp sense of servant leadership, willing to show up and leap bounds, and that's not what it says, but show up greatly in the lives of those who need it most. Yielded to this profound ethic is the multifaceted advocate, Dr. Josephine Harris. All right. She's a psychotherapist, international licensed therapist, international best-selling author, 3-time best-selling author, international speaker, mental health blogger, professional certified empowerment life coach, domestic violence, sexual assault advocate, and certified mental health coach and advocate. She's also the CEO, founder of Calming Minds. Yes, after you do all of that, you got to calm your mind. Calming Minds, LLC, and Healthy Minds and Hearts blog. Welcome, Dr. Josephine.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm blessed. Thank you for having me on your show, and thank you also, Tiffany.
Well, we are so glad that you're on today. Talk to us about all of this stuff that you balance here in life. You're wearing a lot of different hats. Talk to us about any of the hats that you want to talk about right now on this broadcast?
Well, the thing is that how I came up with Common Minds because I was in I was all over the place. So I was dealing with, I have ADP, so I was dealing with all that. I had a therapist, a coach and stuff. So I like, you know what? I'm going to name it Common Minds because I have to really sit down and calm that mind of mine. So that's what I came up with. So that's why it's come from Common Minds. That's what I came up with, Common Minds and stuff. And I also have a Healthy Minds and Blogs where I talk about my as a military spouse, I talk about my mental health journey and how I overcame a lot of challenges as a military spouse and what we went through and what different locations we was in. So I give a lot of tips, a lot of articles of different mental health as my journey, as I fulfill my journey as a military spouse and how I overcame a lot of mental health challenges as a military spouse.
So as a military spouse and dealing with so many people that have their loved ones that's been away from home, and even during the holidays coming up, some of their spouses won't be home with them. What advice do you give those military families that are spouses that have to juggle life without their spouse being present with them? Any advice?
Yes. Let me tell you, it's the balance. You have to associate yourself with other military spouses. Associate yourself with going and get a mentor, being involved in the military world, like going to meetings or going to outings when they have outings. Because if you be closed in, you will feel depressed because your military soldier member is deployed. And for me, I had a mentor where I have my pastor and my first lady, and she guided me. And I also had my a mentor as a military spouse as well. So I also was one of the FRG leader, which is Family Readiness leadership, where I guide other military spouses and help them through the challenges that they had. So from my experience, I help other military spouses as well navigate through different challenges that they had as a military spouse.
This is good. This is really good information. And I'm as far as like mental health right now is critically important and necessary that we talk about it. So I'm really glad that you're on today. What advice can you give people that we're going through this holiday season? Many people are experiencing going through the holiday without their family members because at least over 700 and some thousand families are going through this holiday without their loved ones because they passed just due to COVID alone. You have people that are shooting in schools around the country, and it's overwhelming. It is overwhelming to say the least. There are no words that could be put into appropriate statement categories that would make sense with what's happening in this land. What advice from a mental health perspective can you share? Any tip, any affirmation, anything that could help us today?
For me, as a mental health professional, I always tell them, get the help, seek the help you need. Even though in different culture that we tend to veer away from getting professional help. But professional help is not just because you're a weak person, it's because you are a wealthy person. So get the help that you need. And with me as a mental health professional, my faith kept me in a lot. So I really talk about it with my affirmation. My affirmation comes from Proverbs 4 through 25 through 26, where I have to stay in faith. I have to start with faith, stay in faith, and finish in faith. And all that come together as focus my faith in God.
Very, very great. Yes.
So that's what brought me up. Yes.
Starting faith. Say it a little slower because you be gone. You gone. Tell me one more time because I want to hear it. I want to get it one more time.
Really, it comes from Proverbs 4:25 through 27, when you have to start in faith, stay in faith, and finish in faith. And all three of them help you to focus your faith.
Yes. Y'all get that? Y'all better watch the replay again because there's some good stuff right here. If you apply some of these affirmations that these women are sharing today, we can't help but get better in our minds and our finances and our overall lives. So I am so happy to have Tiffany, Dr. Joe, the Prophetista, Crystal, and even myself here. And thank you, Andrew, who's helping backstage today in place of Cassandra. So thank you so much, Andrew, from our Kim Jacobs Show team. What are some of the warning signs that you might observe of a friend or family member that's dealing with a possible mental health issue or crisis? Because not everybody knows what to look for. And that's a question that Andrew posed from the back office here.
One of the things that you tend to look for and people miss is people giving away things that they value.
Oh, whoa, y'all.
Like, say for instance, you would start giving away like your most possession, like you start giving away jewelry, or you would start like, you know what, you can come over and get this piece of furniture, or you can come in over and get this piece of book, or it's people that's being isolated, closing themselves up and pulling away from their social life, and they knowing that they're being very open. So it's pulling away from that social environment, knowing that you've been an extrovert, now you're an introvert. So an introvert normally be, when you see an introvert and they knowing is an introvert, then they become extrovert. So they telling you, they yearning for help. They even asking you like, well, what would you do if this certain thing happened? What would you do if I go get hit by a car? They bring up things like that. They bring up like, well, I wish I wasn't here. I wish I was like, to take the pain away, I wish I was not here. I probably would be on a beach. So you have to look for things like that. And you have to look for people who have like symptoms of sadness. And they're always talking about death.
Wow. I didn't even, you know what? I did not know what you're talking about right now. So I am grateful to hear what you're sharing, because I've had plenty of conversations with people and they probably are trying to tell me some cues. And I'm just like, well, girl, you ain't at the beach. Calgo ain't take you away today. You right? I'm just going right on with the conversation. It might be like, no, I need to really take a moment and say, do you really feel like you need to get away? Do you need some help? Do you need me to step in and watch your children for a minute while you just take a moment? So I know some solutions, but looking for those triggers or those key words that you're sharing is wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wow. Okay. We're having some great discussion today here on the Kim Jacobs Show, and I see all of your comments coming in as well. We'll continue to post those comments throughout today's broadcast. I see, let me see here. I see you, Dr. Lotus Rashay. She's on today's broadcast. She said, another great day and an amazing show. You have to check out Lotus Rashay Ignites show. It is incredible and news you can use. So definitely go to Lotus Rashay. You'll see her in her red signature jacket and you'll be able to follow her programs. It's a global program and one that you definitely don't want to miss. So right after this commercial break, we're going to hear from Crystal Reese. I see you, Travis Michelle, saying that this is great. Hello, Queens. Keith Harris is saying, Dr. Joe, love you. Get it, doctor. Who is Keith Harris?
My husband.
I'm gonna say that sound like, that's why I'm like, that sound like your Boaz. He doing something. Yeah, hey baby. I'm like, this hello with all these exclamations from a man is straight somebody's husband, because they don't be getting on here doing that. Keith, you know you're trying to get some brownie points. That's all you're trying to do. You're like, baby. He'd be like, look here, Kim, I'm gonna tell you right now, you can go, I don't care if you miss everybody else's comments, you better not miss Keith. Keith Harris got a comment. Keith, like, you better put that comment up so I can get my brownie points. Hello, Dr. Joe. Love you. Get it, doctor. Oh, y'all get a room, Keith. Get a room, Keith. All right, right after this commercial break, we're going to talk with Crystal Reese, and we are having a good time today. So put a 1 in the comments, or a heart, or some kind of emoji if you're having a great time today. All right.
My father had 4 of his fingers amputated in a workplace accident. It was the first injured individual I represented, and I knew I had to win that case. When someone walks into my office and they've been injured, I know what they're going through. If you've been injured at work with Hunter and Average. We've got the experience, so let us help you.
All right, and we are back here on the Kim Jacobs Show, and we're talking with women that have affirmations that you can use. This book is going to be coming out soon, and I'll let Tiffany address that after we hear from Crystal Reese. Crystal is a genuine authenticity experience coach, published author, motivational speaker, owner of Reese Professional Services, Success Women's Conference, Woman on Fire, and Fierce and Focused global speaker, and a life coach. She works to equip, motivate, and to encourage individuals through her storytelling. Yes, principles that have granted Crystal success in accomplishing personal goals and ultimately changing her own life. I love this. Okay, welcome, Crystal Reese, to the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you, Crystal?
I'm well. How are you, Kim?
Doing great, doing even better now that we got you in that square over there, because we know all the little technical stuff that be going on, right? It's like, I am here, Crystal's here with the flowers blooming behind her and looking good, right on point. Crystal, listen, talk to us about, you said specifically that you've been able to
Yes,
accomplish and even change your life. How did that happen, and what was happening in life that you had to change?
I didn't quite get the.
Oh, I
I
thought you were
didn't
frozen.
quite
I was
get
like, you got to be kidding me.
your
The
question.
one time I finally get this question, took me a whole 2 minutes to pour that whole
Yes,
thought
I
out. I didn't write
am.
it down
I'm
because I don't have it scripted.
like,
Okay,
have to
so what
give
I
me
was saying is, you said in your
stream
bio that you had some
my
personal
devices
goals.
just to
Say it again.
say that again.
Just say anything you want to say. That's just talk. She got to be late. This ain't a comedy show.
So, yes, it is like every live app, but stream great for my app.
What we'll do is when it
Um,
comes on.
you asked the okay, so you asked the question, and what is journaling? What journaling for me um would be the thoughts and ideas that I would share with the world, my experiences, my story, in which I think would help someone who has dealt with the same things that I have gone through. Whereas, suppose my diary may include like a whirlwind of experiences that are and dreams that I'm just like, okay, I gotta take this. There's some lemons, there's some limes, there's some oranges, there's some pineapples. But journaling is that process of healing, as well as equipping other individuals that you would actually really want to share with the world. Um,
I love it. I love that.
coming into the coming into the knowledge um of yourself. Journaling is a bit uh deeper than your diary. Your diary is not organized, but journaling is when you're there.
That's awesome. Awesome. Justine Hillier says she's learning a lot here. Learning a lot. Hello, everyone. And oh, here go here go your husband again. He said, Dr. Joe said to me, get a room. So I brought her a house. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. I see all these comments coming in. I'm sure trying to stack them, laugh out all the brownie points. Okay. Crystal, you have been through some things in your journey in life. What are some of those things that you've experienced to kind of overcome them to get to where you are today?
Battles with mental health and ADHD, as well as being a teen parent, having no education beyond grade school. Because, in those years when we were in school, we reached middle school. Like, according to your age, they just skip you to the next grade, whether you were learning or not. But in the past 8 years of my life, um, just taking control of my mental health, which is very important, and the very start of um, a person's journey who battles with PTSD and depression and anxiety from traumatic life. That is the first step to taking your life back. But as I was saying, in the last 8 years, so with dealing with ADHD, I've obtained my GED, associate's, bachelor's, master's, and now I'm working. I'm in my first year of working on my PhD.
Wow. That's
So
so impressive. So impressive.
I had to start journaling.
That's really good.
So I had to
And you know what you
start
say?
journaling because it was so many goals.
That is incredible. What affirmation do you kind of stand by and use on a daily basis?
The affirmation it's two affirmations that I use on a daily basis, and that is going to be courage. What is the ones that I have chosen for the journal, and they're going to be about courage and confidence. And the other one is body positivity. Because when we walk, the moment we walk out the door, we see other women, we begin to compare us, compare ourselves, um, not so much in a negative way, but we may see the beauty in another woman, and we might not see that beauty in ourselves. And so we begin to judge ourselves based on someone else's beauty. And that person
That's
may
good.
be basing their beauty on what society deems as beautiful. And then that's just unrealistic.
That's good. I love that. The minute we walk out of the door, we start comparing ourselves to other people. That everything that you're saying, and I'm so glad that you're sticking through whatever's happening over there with the internet stuff, because at the end of the day, some of the stuff that you're saying is so needed and so helpful. And so just bear with whatever is going on over there, because what you're saying is wonderful. When we walk out of our door and we start comparing ourselves to other people, then we've already failed. We've already missed the whole point. Each of us have gifts and talents that we can bring to this world to make a difference. And so we have to know that they have their gifts, I have my gifts. My gifts do not compare to their gifts because that's not what I'm supposed to be doing on this earth. That's for them to do it. And so at the end of the day, we have to use the gifts and the talents that God gave us. So what Crystal is sharing, and I'll pull her back in when I see her. Okay, what Crystal is sharing is just wonderful information. So thank you for that. All right. So as we continue on, I definitely want to make sure that we hear from you, Tiffany, to share when can we expect to hear and see this tangible product, the book itself. So right after this commercial break, I want to hear that from you, and then we'll hear some more affirmations, everyone. All right, so listen, today's episode is also sponsored by Lamb Funeral Home. Lamb Funeral Home is located in the Concord, North Carolina area. But guess what, everybody? They are certified in all 50 states. Mr. Terry Lamb, who is the owner of Lamb Funeral Home, they provide a caring atmosphere to be able to help you with your funeral needs. They have over 28 years of funeral home experience, and Mr. Terry Lamb is a veteran who knows all of the ins and outs of the veteran benefits. If you're an adult child that is a dependent of a veteran, or you're a spouse of a veteran, you want to give Mr. Terry Lamb and his establishment a call, 704-782-3011. And again, with over 700,000 people passing away already, just with COVID-related deaths, then you need to know what to expect. You also need to know what some of the immediate needs are and some funeral pre-planning. So give them a call today, 704-782-3011, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. All right, so Tiffany, tell us, What is the affirmations we can use going to be available?
All right. Well, those affirmations that we begin pre-sales for the book next week, and prayerfully, if all goes well. Again, we live in a COVID culture, unfortunately, now, but prayerfully, if all goes well, we will have the printed books in our hand before Christmas or right around Christmas. It would be great if they're able to drop by Christmas Day. That is the goal. But again, we're in a COVID culture, and I explained that to all of our partners coming on. You know, our goal is to try to get this out and as quick as possible, in hopes of, you know, being able to kind of grace our Christmas trees with gifts for journals for women this year. And for the most part, I think we're really close to being able to stay on track. But it is at the publishing house right now. They're working on it as we speak. Yes. Very excited.
I'm excited that you all are going to be coming and birthing this project. Can't wait. I definitely want to get my copy the minute you can pre-order it. Let me know, and I want to pre-order my copy as well. And I know, Mom, you want me to get you a copy as well. Any book I get for myself, I have to get two because I have to ship one to my mom's house. So don't worry.
I will send one to you.
Well, I look forward to it. So listen, tell us some other affirmations that any of you all maybe didn't get a chance to say throughout today's broadcast, but you know it's good to just say, hey, get this, like almost like a firing round of affirmations. I know I can tell you some that I do. I say, listen, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Girl, you are beautiful. God created you. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Girl, you are a daughter of the King. You're not just no regular daughter. You're a daughter of the King, the Most High God. So this is stuff I say to myself, right? That I can do anything that I put my mind to. I can do all things through Christ. I'm trustworthy. I'm loving. I'm compassionate. I'm caring. I love God's people. I love people that don't love me. I love people. I don't have hate towards any of these people. It's like just stuff that God has given me. So I am special. I'm
Girl,
special.
you're firing off.
Yeah,
they're just rolling off your tongue.
I'm special.
Natural fire. My top two favorites. One is I am already loved. Like what that does for me is that it puts boundaries around me with my choices. You know, my choices when it comes to relationships, whether we're talking about relationships and boundaries that need to be placed on the job, inside the family, out in the community, you know, personal relationships, no matter what, you're recognizing that I'm already loved is going to make a difference in how close people can stand to me and how close I will allow myself to stand to them. And then my second one is that I bring value to every room that I step in. You know, every table that I sit down at, I bring value, right? And so that's just recognizing that God has made me beautifully. You know what I'm saying? Like he was intentional with the way that he designed Tiffany Bell. And with that, I honor him with my gifts, with my talents, and that when I walk in, I'm coming with all of that, and that I can help bring value to other people's lives. So those are my top two.
Woo, I'm trying to put some music behind this. I'm like, come on, y'all, come on. Go ahead, Dr. Joe.
Well, my two is like, I am determined to walk in my blessings, because every time you guys ask me, I say, I'm blessed. And I am blessed. And the next one is, I am determined to walk in my faith with God. And you notice I talk about faith a lot because I went through as a military spouses, and this is the first year my husband ever been home for a whole year. So that my faith has spoken into existence.
And look at I need to find is he on your Facebook page?
Yes, he is.
Now we know why he's showing up.
So I talk about that because we went through a lot, and during the time as he was deployed or he was on missions, we lost a whole lot of family members along the way. And it was hard for me to explain to him and tell him when he was downrange that his mama had passed, because it was not too long ago. My mama had passed before her, and then my father had passed, and then I lost my whole my family. My auntie had lost her family, so I lost my auntie and her family to a train accident. So it was a lot of death in our family. So my faith and the faith that God had put in me had brought me through a lot. Had really brought me through a lot of trials and tribulations as a military spouse, even as a blended family as well. So that's why I talk about my faith, because that faith had me hold on for a lot. So that's why I really, really thrive on my faith.
Well, I really am grateful that you have that faith, and I see this man right here yonder. Is this him?
Yes.
Look how you holding on to his chest plate.
Uh-huh. That's
You owe
beautiful.
me. You owe me, Keith. I'm gonna tell you right now.
That is my chocolate king.
If nobody else didn't get no major kudos today, you got some brownie points, brother. So you remember the Kim Jacobs show blessed your life, okay? That's so awesome. So awesome. So those are great confirmations and affirmations that you shared. Prophetista, anything you want to share? Any confirmations or affirmations? I say confirmations because I believe it's confirming what God already said to us too, but affirmations as well.
Sure. Yep. My favorite one is that the Most High has made space for my gifts in this world. That's number one.
The Most High has made space for your gift. You don't have to compete with nobody else. The Most High, what God has for you is for you. And I don't want what God don't have for me. So if it ain't from you, God, take it on yonder. Get it on out. Go on now, like my grandma said, go on. If that ain't from God, so be it. Move on. Yep. Okay. So thank you so much for sharing those affirmations. Tomorrow, everyone, is Freestyle Friday here on the Kim Jacobs Show. We know what that means. That means that we're going to have some of our experts. Actually, we have a young man that's blind, and he's one of our vision experts. And he is also a news author and has a great book out that's right on Amazon. I'm going to see if I can pull his book cover up, because this man, his story is just crazy, amazing what he's talking about. This is his book cover, and he says from motorcycle accident to miracle, because he wasn't born blind. He was in the military, he worked at his church and did a lot of stuff. He says, don't focus on why me. And his name is Kiwan Amy. And that particular picture was the last picture that was taken on the day of his accident. He was there shooting that shot for his church to get some footage at the lake. And he was riding his motorcycle home when the accident occurred. And that man's story is profound. He's going to be one of our experts here on the Kim Jacobs Show tomorrow. We also have the Sunshine expert, and she brings so much joy to our program and some things that she's had to overcome to become now who she is. Her life is amazing. And then we also have our luxury event planning specialist that's going to be on, and she's going to be talking to us about how to plan some great holiday events, and she knows her stuff. So that's tomorrow on Freestyle Friday, everybody. If you have, let's see, I want to throw these comments back up from our studio audience. I see you. Kathy says, the Most High has made room for my gifts. Come on and prophesy. Prophesy. Acknowledge your King, and always. Justine said, the favor of the Lord walks with me, and all things are possible through Christ. These are your confirmations. Thank you. And your affirmations. All right, sis. All right. Favor, and faith. That means you step into a room on purpose. Yes. Thank you so much, Queens. I bring value to every room. Yes, I am already loved regardless. And he gives us strength. A lot of comments have come in today. Make sure you all take a moment and go back and just on any of the platforms and respond to some of these comments. And I do encourage you to pour into today's broadcast. The only way that we keep this original programming happening Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. is just kind of like how PBS and CBN and the Word Network and different places, they depend on the community to support them. Well, the Kim Jacobs Show depends on you, our community, to support our program. So please make sure you Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, join the Patreon membership. Do whatever you need to do to just pour into this broadcast so that we can keep providing you with the original programming. And then take a moment to subscribe as well. All right, so everyone, I am hoping that you had a wonderful experience today. You are amazing women, and I am looking forward to, I want to make sure I put your contact information up for everybody, each of you. Here we go. This is how you're going to stay connected with the Prophetista. And Tiffany, put your information back there, please, in the back office. The Prophetista, tell everybody how they can stay connected with you on social media.
Oh, sure. So we have my website is there below, theprophetista.com. On Facebook, I am The Prophetista. So everything from Instagram, just put in The Prophetista, and you'll find me.
but on her website, because I have iHeart listeners on the radio.
Okay.
So it's theprophet-ista.com. Theprophet-ista.com is the website. Every other time that you put the prophetista, it's going to be in all together. Prophet.
Prophetista.
Prophetisa. Oh, I said prophetista. I'm saying in my own words. It's prophetisa.
Prophetista.
Prophetisa. Prophetista. If you don't know, you gotta let it roll. Like it's the prophetisa.
Roll it off.
Oh yeah. See, I thought you were accountant, so I thought it was bland, like regular old prophecies. And then you ain't that kind of accountant, huh? You like
Right.
you gonna be. You got
Spice
some
it up.
prophetisa. Okay. All right. So that's hers. And let's go to Dr. Joe. Here, tell us your contact information, Dr. Joe. We're going to get off here a second.
Hello. You can find me. My website is www.commonmindsllc.com. You can also find me on all social media as Dr. Joe Harris. And my LinkedIn is Dr. Josephine Harris.
All right, everybody. So you got Dr. Joe Harris here. I'm trying to make sure that I put all of your information in one here. Tiffany, so that I don't know what I'm doing. Andrew, can you copy those things into one for me so I can have them for Tiffany Bell? And the final, let me get this one to Crystal. Yeah, I wanted to make sure I put Crystal's information up here for you too. This is really good stuff. So we're going to be closing out here, but I want to make sure that you know how to stay connected with these women. And Andrew, put that for me backstage. There we go for Crystal. Somebody share Crystal's contact information. Unmute yourself. Tiffany.
I can be contacted, Tiffany D. Bell, on all social media platforms, and my website is uncommoncourage.cc. Very simple.
Okay. I want to put, wait a minute, for Crystal. Crystal is going to be able to be contacted on Facebook at Genuine, the number 1 CEO. And her Instagram is Genuine Uno. Genuine Uno. And then on Clubhouse as well at Genuine Uno. And Twitter is Genuine Uno for Crystal Reese. And then for Tiffany, we're going to put all of your information here together. And let me just grab this myself for a second. And here we go. These are the 2 ways that you can stay connected with Tiffany D. Bell. I'll put it right here. We can't end this broadcast without y'all knowing how to stay connected with them. Let me do this right here. There we go. So Tiffany, yes, uncommoncourage.cc and at Tiffany D. Bell on all social media platforms. All right. Mm-hmm. I am excited that you ladies stayed and joined us today. Did y'all have a good experience?
I had a great experience.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Well, we're glad.
Very glad. Great job, ma'am. Very good job.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you all for being my special guest today. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. Look forward to seeing you guys. And you can stay backstage, ladies, if you want for a quick second, and I'll talk to you backstage. Have a great one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.